Hi, this short video is on non-violence, the third principle of the Dharma Code. Maybe the easiest way to approach non-violence is to look at the ways in which we are violent or aggressive in our life. So we can be violent towards others, towards the earth, or towards ourselves. Now, I like to focus on the third one of these, violence towards ourselves, because that easily goes unnoticed. It's much easier to recognize violence that's coming to us from an outside source. But it's a little more difficult to see, to recognize the violence that we inflict upon ourselves. How? Well, for example, our mind is continually speaking. What are the messages that the mind tells us? Well, many, but messages like, they all have more than I do. I'm not good enough. I must work harder. Without this, I'm no one. I mustn't lose this. I must show that I'm doing well. I must make myself lovable and attractive. That person's helping me get what I want. She's my friend. This person's my competition. They mustn't get there before I do. So we rarely stop to consider, are these things that we tell ourselves even true? And how violent or aggressive they are, both to others and to ourselves. We each have a story that we create, and we carry that story with us throughout our life, wherever we go. We live our life based on that story. And that's perfectly fine. It's the way we create meaning in life. What the problem is when we come to believe that story without any question. We forget what it is. We forget that it's actually just a story. And we're prepared to defend it. We're prepared to fight for it, even at the cost of inflicting violence on others and violence on ourselves. So understanding the nature of our story and how it is simply a story. The main character of that story is someone we identify with. In ancient India, they have a word for that main character. They call it ahankara, which means I-making. So we create these identities and we fight for them throughout our life. And how much difficulty and trouble it is to maintain those identities. The rishis or sages of ancient India, they understood that these are our identities that are really a figment of the mind. And so recognizing that allows us to place some distance between ourselves and our story, and not to be so deeply affected by it. And this is a powerful way to remove some of the violence in our life. If we're violent in our dealings towards ourselves, we will necessarily be aggressive and violent in many different ways in our dealings with others. So non-violence is such an important principle. By developing kindness towards ourselves, we also develop kindness towards others. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to know more about the Dharma Code and how to apply it in your everyday life, have a look at the Book of Dharma. You can get more information on that at my website, www.bookofdharma.com. Many thanks. See you next time.